Welcome to Fresh Ball Fall. It's the season of pumpkin spice and making sure your crotch looks nice. That means sipping cider in a fall breeze and using Manscaped products to trim your balls with ease. That's right, today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, a company here to make sure that your foliage isn't the only thing shedding its excess leaves. Heck, even Mother Nature knows it's time to lose the excess clutter for fall. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping when you use the promo code BELLYUPFANTASY. Whether you're brand new or already with us at Manscaped, you could use the crown jewel of care for your family jewels, the Platinum Package 4.0. This glorious package, you can align your entire hygiene routine all in one swoop. Inside the 10-part Platinum Package is everything you know and love about the Performance Package, plus some shower goodies included to elevate your grooming game to platinum. You can now completely upgrade your shower routine with the Ultra Premium Body Wash and Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo and Conditioner. You'll have your skin and hair feeling hydrated and smelling fresh. Don't forget to apply their aluminum-free Ultra Premium Deodorant. And don't worry, it's not pumpkin spice, it's a cologne-quality fragrance. Get the Platinum Package this fall. These products are guaranteed to be hits for your dangly bits. Go to manscaped.com to get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code BELLYUPFANTASY. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the promo code BELLYUPFANTASY. Manscaped, clear out the leaves. It's your tree trunk's time to shine.
And it's our time to shine here back on Belly Up Sports for a special live reaction show. Being joined to the right of me is Mr. Rob Schwartz, beat reporter for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, we're doing live reaction, Eagles Bears. It is 10-7 at half. Eagles got a nice big kickoff return there from Boston Scott. Already got things rolling. We'll see how things going with that. But again, obviously, with the commercial there, the show is brought to you by Manscaped. So, guys, make sure you're using that belly up code. Head over there, enjoy some of their products, buy a T-shirt, whatever. Get a screenshot. Get for that code. Get added into our giveaway. We're gonna have some fun. Rob, how you feeling today? How you feeling about this game so far?
It's about what I expected. I thought it'd be a little bit higher scoring, but I thought it'd be close.
I mean, they always play defense in this. Like, I think the biggest thing you'd have to be surprised is that Jalen Hurts has already thrown 2 interceptions.
Yeah,
that'd probably been like a prop bet that somebody would win against. That like, there's no way Jalen Hurts throwing 2 picks today. The way he's been protecting the ball. Nope, they've been able to get Jalen in some bad positions, some pressure. Luckily they were able to get a touchdown right at half. And I made a tweet just out. Hassan Reddick has single-handedly kept the Eagles in this game. Otherwise, that low-scoring game that you were just talking about would be a lot different right now. I think it probably could be 17 to 17-3. Right?
Yeah. I mean, Chicago's had a lot of wasted opportunities, but yeah, those big sacks.
But that's also reflective of how you guys played this year, right? That's one of those things why you guys are 3-10. You guys been shooting yourselves a lot. They've been in these close games, wind up falling short, things of that nature. I don't really think you guys are a 3-win football team, but you're definitely a team that needs to continue to put pieces, get some guys in here, get some talent in there, things of that nature. But I think in a few years you guys could be telling the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers to move over. You guys can be taking and tell. I know everyone's big on Kirk Cousins. How you feeling about that game last night? Do you think they just got a fire lit under him and got lucky enough to be able to get that comeback? Do you think they're a for real team?
I saw something on Twitter. Someone created like a meme, but he's got something going on in his little Gatorade cup or something. I don't know. Someone should get him tested because it's insane.
That was a really, really nice catch by AJ Brown right there. I think that's this difference that we were just talking about off air from this year to last year. Jalen Hurts just dropped what you call that, a drop in the bucket right there. That was a beautiful throw, man.
All right, so I'm just seeing it live now, and
yeah, I told you that it was gonna be a couple seconds behind. Right, look at this throw, man.
Wow. Yeah. See, and that's what I'm hoping that Justin Fields turns into, because he's got
but
that
it's
deep
not
ball.
like Justin Fields didn't have an arm like that in college. He wasn't. You just have to be able to make those throws at this level. He's at this point right now where he's still running around for his life. Remember what Jalen Hurts was running, like there was no consistency on that offensive line. This guy was hurt. This guy was hurt. This guy was that. You know, I mean, granted, Kelsey and Lane is for the most part have been there over the last few years, but you know, Mulata didn't really kind of develop until last year. You know, we got him. You know, back end. Sixth round draft pick. You know, a rugby guy. You turned him into arguably a top 10 left tackle in football right now, right?
Yeah, and just like that, Philadelphia just put another 7 on. So,
and yeah, now it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
What we were just talking about this. I think the biggest thing about everyone talks about like what's making the Eagles, how they're really able to stack these points up and hurt teams is they're able to win the toss. They're able to 9 times out of 10 be the first team to put points on the board. They also get points right before halftime. That's not 3 points. It's typically 6.
And that's key.
And then you typically score that first time right after that. Being able to make a 14 to 21 point differential, that's huge.
Yes.
And that's really, really, really tough to overcome. I don't care how good you are, to consistently have to put up, over 30 points in this league is hard to do. Because defenses ain't easy, guy. They're not just giving points away, right?
Yeah,
Just, I think that's one of the things that if they are able to make a deep run, in January and hopefully February, that teams are going to have to find a way to stop that if they're going to want to prevent them from doing that.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that they kind of laid out a blueprint for Ryan Poles and former Philadelphia Eagle Ian Cunningham here in Chicago. Like, we're not in the same situation, but like I think a similar.
I think we got lucky because Howie Roseman was on the point of like he was about to get ran out of here after the Super Bowl because he gave a bunch of guys extensions that probably shouldn't have got. You probably should have been rental deals, and you probably should have moved them on along and put money elsewhere.
Yeah.
And you got stuck in these contracts. You also bought into the Carson, like we were just talking about, Jalen's potentially going to be at the end of his rookie deal. Then you had to sign him. You had to sign this guy. And then everything fell apart after 18.
Yeah.
Everything fell apart. They were trying to run him out.
I will say, though, Jalen Hurts is by far like way above Carson Wentz from a analytical standpoint, like what he can do.
I think what was so, because you drafted him second overall, so like I think what I think a lot of fans that were initially against it, and I was too, is because you invested that number 2 overall pick in Carson Wentz.
We were right there with you with Mitch Trubisky, same exact pick, and we traded up for him. So.
Oh man, how that whole table turns. But here's the thing, and I'm still not completely against that Carson's this completely broken quarterback. I think the situations that surrounded what brought Jalen here and everything like that, the injury, having Foles being fell in love, the city fell in love with him all over again, because people tend to forget the run he initially had with Chip Kelly, where he got ran out and systemed out, where that was just terrible.
Yep.
He goes on a mythical run, in the playoffs, because people tend to forget how terrible Nick was going up to that. Then the whole controversy starts. Bud Light makes the freaking statue.
Yeah.
In reality, it should have been the strip sack. It should have been the strip sack.
Right.
Brandon, love the Philly special and everything. It should have been Brandon Graham's strip sack.
Yes.
And all this whole quarterback controversy would have never happened, but it does. And Carson freaks the frick out.
Mentally,
100% healthy with the leg injury and blew his back out. Because what happens when he completely blew his knee out? MCL, AC, like that was one of the worst ones. What Carson had in that Ram game.
I mean, he was on an MVP run.
Back, you break your back, and then you're completely broken at that point in time because the Eagles front office left with no choice. Like, all right, he's got hurt again, another big injury. I got to get somebody who can potentially be in here for long periods of time. Jalen Hurts falls down. I can't fault him. Looking back, I was so mad at that. And how ridiculous it is. Like, hey, why not have this security blanket here? And Javion Hargrove with another sack. Holy crap.
I was going to say, and that right after Reddick just got there too.
This is just unbelievable, this defense, man. Like the night in, we're talking about night and day about Jalen Hurts. This defense, the pieces they've added, and not just that, the being able to having those three key areas to be productive in: sacks, takeaways, and what, points allowed per game.
So I just saw the sack, but Justin Fields has got to get rid of that sooner. You can't do that.
No, well, we were saying the same. Listen, wait it out, bro. Wait it out, because we're already starting to see the first duel between these two. I think me and you are going to be having this conversation a lot over the next few years, come January moving forward.
I sure as hell hope so. He was my QB2 right behind Trevor Lawrence, and I had them as like QB1, QB1A, 1B. I can't believe that Zach Wilson.
I think what it is everyone's scared of the Ohio quarterback, isn't it? Yeah, everyone's still wrapped up in that myth. We were, man.
Yeah, Oklahoma was the same way.
What was it, Bobby Hoyne?
Yeah.
It was Bobby Hoyne we went and got. I'm
watching your guys' defensive line though, and the Chicago Bears cannot pick up delayed stunts. Like literally, they just
not just that. Like they like and we like to they have the NASCAR package here where they basically have four defensive ends who are all fast ballers in there. When you put Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat on the inside, it's like, huh? They have a unique depthness, and then when our first round draft pick goes down, we brought in Joseph, we brought in Sue, and really kind
Robert
of solidified that run defense. What I kind of felt was their only weakness, and now with the you got Slay Ball hawking out there. You got Bradbury having a career year. I think they're like 1 and 2 in like the PPF rankings for cornerbacks. Like, it's insanity. The production, the turnover that they had on defense that they're getting out of everyone. I don't think we've ever seen that the turnover and then just everything kind of work well, and then the production on the field. Not just that they're a good defense and they're able to compete. They're literally, I think I think there's like 2 statistical categories. They're not in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
It's insanity.
It's insane. I mean, it does help when you have a good defensive line. Makes the defensive backs' jobs much easier.
Everything starts in front of. I've said it for years. Like, we talk about, like you don't need to have the best linebacker in football to be competitive. It helps. It helps, especially if you're in a division that has a lot of hammers, run heavy teams. It helps to have that. I'm not going to sit there and say that, but it really helps to have that depth and those guys up front, man. Both on the offensive, defensive line, it just really makes everything different.
When they say you build through the trenches, I mean, they're not lying. That's where you got to start, and that's what I'm hoping here Chicago does between now and next year.
Sweat and Hargrave all have 2 sacks today. So
I was going to say they had 5 leading up to the half, so now they're not 6.
So the Eagles are about to have at least 3 guys with more than 10 sacks this year.
That's awesome. I'm so jealous. I think our leading sack is still our safety, Jaquan Brisker, with 3, and he missed 2 games.
Well, no, and here's the crazy thing is CJ Gardner Johnson. Oh boy, for turnover, y'all got that. They're gonna get points.
You're
out
still
of
ahead of me, so now I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
Oh man, watch this play. The screen.
I'm so far behind.
It's Rob's
man.
honest reaction here. Hold on.
Let's see if this. If I'm not.
I'm gonna give you the solo hat so we get your honest reaction on this one.
All right, here we go. Shotgun snap. Oh!
If he doesn't stop there, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, what are you doing?
If he doesn't stop there, that's a touchdown. Am I wrong?
You gotta scoop and go. Oh, Kyler Gordon's having a good game for Chicago, which is good because he's had a really up and down season for their first pick of 2022. I know he's a second rounder.
He gave up the long ball to Devontae Smith earlier, but bounced right back.
Man,
I was just a really
Miles Sanders fumbled that.
That was just a nice play from behind. He I guess he didn't expect him there, and when he wrapped him up, he just got it right on the ball. Ain't nothing you can do about that. That's horse collar, ain't it? Nope, not getting that one. All
right. Well, that makes it interesting. At least Chicago can put some points on the board.
I wonder if that.
I'm not going to be surprised.
I wonder if that mixed extra point is going to haunt you right now.
I'm telling you, they're going to waste the opportunity somehow. Even if it's just 3, like that's a waste. You got to put up 7.
Yeah, y'all got to get 6 here, especially after that short field like this. Delay a game. Oh my gosh. Oh,
and this is what's frustrating because they're supposed to be.
This is what I talk about. How you guys are better than this. It's just
they're lacking in talent.
Too, but I think there was a game. It was like a few weeks ago, the Titan game. Like literally the first quarter, every offensive lineman got called for false start. Every single one of them.
Yeah, they got guys in motion. You can't snap. Oh my god.
I think the biggest thing is they've been able to overcome stuff like that.
But they're overcoming it because of Justin Fields and his legs. I mean, that's the only reason why. Because, I mean, look what happened. He took that sack earlier, and then he scrambled for like a 30-yard run. Had he not stepped out of bounds, I mean,
it was hard right there. He had to hug the sidelines right there to get by that group.
Yeah. God,
we'll see what happens.
This is what I mean. So what's nice though is like you're saying, you guys struggled through this last year. So for me to sit here and be like, all right, maybe there's hope, and now I do feel better.
The other thing is your front office absolutely has to hit on stuff too.
That's the key.
You have to make the right moves in free agency, not just go after this guy's sexy. There's been years where we're like, all right, well we could have gotten. Why shouldn't we be in the conversation? I don't want to be in the conversation for everyone that's out there. I want to make sure it's the right guy.
Right.
Loved bringing Hassan Reddick in. Thought that was right. Didn't really knew much about Kazir White, but knew that the San Diego Charger fans weren't too happy that he wasn't going to be there anymore.
Right.
You go and draft a guy like Jordan Davis. You're able, like I said, you're able to steal Bradbury out of the Giants and have that production. You have to land on those things, right? And then also land on your picks. Be able Devontae Smith, big. It's been a big part of things. Landon Dickerson was the second round draft pick last year. He's basically been a starter here, almost since he's got here.
Yeah.
So being able to shore up things like that. So what I would sit there and say is I would be sitting there having a conversation with your front office, be like, listen, you can't miss on any of the next 2-year picks for your first 3 rounds. They have to be guys that are going to be productive over the next 3 to 5 years and be a part of this system. So, and the other thing is, I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you think about that memorandum that went out about you got the score, you got the 6, about the too many front office people being moved around in the NFL, too much money being thrown away that way. that the NFL wants to kind of like make things more structured to kind of make sure that we're not throwing money away, paying people for jobs that they're no longer working for. I mean,
that's just
you get rewarded for like if it's not working, new regime comes in, things of that nature. You can't just the changeover is the changeover, right?
Finally, a check down that goes for a touchdown.
That's why I was saying you got the 6 there, bro.
That's so. Just real quick.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder
biggest
if
pet peeve.
Miss Extra is gonna. When are you gonna go for it? When are you gonna?
I feel like you have to, but that's my biggest pet peeve is with Justin Fields. Is sometimes he refuses to take the short passes. Like he just wants to throw the ball 8-10 yards down the field. Granted, that now I'm watching the replay. It was his first read. But yeah, so like I don't know. Like to me, I think any team should be able to structure their front office any way they want to, and I just feel like that's just owners like trying to keep track of.
No one's sitting there saying about how many players have been fired, released, or anything like that. Right?
Chicago has $19 million in dead cap next year. I can't even tell you how much they have this year. It's even worse.
Oh man, we went through that. The last 2 years. I think this year was the first year that like we didn't have some insane amount of money like locked up in dead cap.
I am glad the turnover though was not on Hurts because I really want him to win MVP.
Yeah, and that's another one, man. We got. I mean, there's no question at this point in time. He's gonna throw for over 4,000 yards.
Yeah,
he's gonna have around or just under 30 TD passes, and he's only 4 rushing touchdowns away from Cam Newton's record.
The guy's having
which is 3 now since he had the one today, right?
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
So he needs 3 over the next 2 games.
I think it's pretty doable. I don't know what your guys' schedule is, but
it's we got Dallas on Christmas.
See, but that could be the team too, because if they're a defense that just likes to get at it, and just like what happened on that play, like it was a broken blitz, right? Like you had the safety blitzing down, he went in the right gap, boom, touchdown. I mean, that could easily happen with Dallas.
Well, I thought we handled Dallas pretty well too earlier this year too. Meaning like offensively, defensively, like how our offense played against their defense, handling Micah Parsons, handling Diggs being the playmaker that he is as well on that side of the ball.
Diggs is frustrating. So like I haven't, not this year, but no, actually I take that back. This year I did play in like IDP fantasy leagues, and like that guy can put up like 25 points in a week and then just disappear the next because he's break or bust, right? Like he's gonna like take the ball away, score, or he's gonna let up touchdowns, like boom or bust type of guy. But Micah,
what do you think about Micah's nonsense statement this week? It's the system. It's not Hurts.
Yeah,
it's the system. He's and we're running with that now. So like you had all these other, Randall Cunningham was the ultimate weapon. Obviously Joel Embiid has deemed himself the process. Why not call Jalen the system at this point in time? Because he's kind of redefined what is the dual threat quarterback now, has he not?
Yeah, like I said, I mean,
we're watching it right before our eyes basically this season.
The fact that and a lot of the struggles that he had last year was the fact that like Jalen Reagor was your number 2, right? Like I mean, how many times
I can't tell you how mad this city was about that Jalen Reagor pick for the longest time, because could you imagine if we didn't have to deal with the Jalen Reagor situation? You already had Justin Jefferson here, and then the next year you go and go get Devontae Smith.
Yeah, you don't even have to trade for AJ Brown at that point.
I mean, if the offer was there, could you imagine them 3?
Oh, by far the best trio in the league, right? Like,
I mean, there's an argument right now that they already have that because Quez Watkins runs a 4.230 in the slot.
Yeah. So they got Jalen Johnson.
That's what you want out of your slot receiver, as it is, anyways. Devontae Smith probably has the best hands and feet in the NFC, in my opinion. Like the way he's able to get balls, and then not only that, just his toe tap game is something else. And he's not your prototypical 6'3", 230 wide receiver.
Right.
That's what you got on the other side with AJ Brown now.
Yeah, people were real concerned
during the offseason.
Like Smith dropped a little bit in the draft because people were worried about his size, but if you're not taking hits, what does it matter? I mean, the guy just blows by everybody.
We've seen him take some hits. The Redskin game that we won early in the season.
Yeah,
there's a jump ball. The safety and the cornerback cracked them. They both got dazed there. We both had to waste timeouts because I think it was right towards the. I don't know if it was the end of it was the end of the first half.
Do you know what's he up to? Is he like $185 now?
Yeah, I think when he first came in, he was like 175, something like that.
Typically, guys put on about 10 pounds once they get to the NFL, right? Unless they're cutting, but
I mean, I think that's the other biggest thing is we haven't really missed guys due to injury this year.
That helps. I mean, I can't.
CJ Gardner-Johnson, I was trying to sit there and say that earlier, still leading the league in picks up until the end of last week, even though he's missed the last few.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm glad he's not playing today. We've had some history with him when he was in New Orleans, so.
And oof. Jalen design running, he just got popped. Third down, 3rd and 3.
Yeah, we're missing our starting middle linebacker.
Yeah, the guy who was spying earlier got hurt right as
Jack Sanborn, undrafted free agent, right? Like people were saying it's a lot like what's your guy's linebacker? TJ Edwards, right?
Yeah, from Wisconsin.
Yeah, and both of them from Wisconsin. So he's made it a lot easier for us to just kind of accept the Roquan
shot. Then no, they're gonna punt.
Like you were saying earlier, a great linebacker isn't really key as much anymore in the NFL. And getting rid of Roquan Smith, not paying him that huge amount of money, getting a second rounder for him and a fifth, I thought it was the right move. I
mean, you still need good linebackers. I mean, I'm just saying, those days where you have to have those those Brian Urlachers, those Ray Lewis middle linebacker types. You don't really have to have those really more. And y'all just got a really nice return right there out of Pettis.
I think with Chicago though, because of our linebacker history, so many fans always want that great linebacker here, and it's important. It's important.
Sad when I think of Brian Urlacher, I have to put him in the same category as Zach Thomas. Is just one of the greatest middle linebackers to play, just to never get the Super Bowl win.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I grew up
and then when y'all get there, of course you had to get Peyton, right?
Of course. Well, and we had Rex Grossman, so
Evan Hesser in the defense is the only reason you guys were there. Let's be honest.
Easily. He had a really good September. Okay, I'll give him that. He had a really good September, and then he fell apart.
Really good September. Oh man,
this game's interesting though. It probably helps too, Chicago, that it's 20 degrees out here right now. So, I mean, granted, Philadelphia, you guys get it cold, but I'm just saying, from your guys' type of offense,
it's different. It's a windy cold. That's different.
But anytime it's a cold game,
it's even affected you guys to the point, missed the extra point. You had to go and punt inside our 40-yard line instead of kicking a field goal. That's just the home field thing that you guys got to deal with, man. It's different.
It's frustrating how much Cairo Santos has struggled with extra points this year. I think that was his fifth
I
or
think
sixth
we've
miss.
gotten real lucky with kickers over the years. I mean, we've had David Akers for like the longest time here, and just over the last like 5 to 6 years, I think Jake Elliott's kind of broken just about all of his records.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, Akers was here like almost 8 years.
Yeah. I remember Akers. Like, I mean, it's kind of like the Vinatieri type of situation, right? It's just like never goes away. Always good.
But I mean, I think what Jake set the year we won the Super Bowl, the Giant game, he tied the NFL record for the longest kick. So I mean, do that. The people also tend to forget. He's going to be special here because technically he scored the last points in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, we went from Robbie Gould to a plethora of mess, and as you obviously know, we had Cody Parkey.
Appreciate that. We had to deal with it first. We were like, no. We all should have known what was up as soon as we turned coat on that. And then you gave us the double doink. We appreciate that.
I mean, you guys deserved it with the tip. I mean, it was tipped. It was redirected, but still, he had so many that he put off the goalpost that year. Like it was bound to happen in the playoffs.
And then we squander it the next week.
Yeah.
Alshon, man. Should have just held it, man. I don't know.
I was a big Alshon Jeffrey fan. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, dude. I love him. That first year he was here in 2017, he was magical.
Yeah, he just couldn't stay healthy. Those hamstrings were just trash. Every week, it's like he's on the injury report. Is he going to play? He's questionable.
I got his signed jersey over my dresser, brother.
Yeah.
Alshon was pretty cool. We were met him like outside of he was doing a Modell signing, and my kid went to take a picture and he seen it. He turns around and was like,
nice.
He's taking a picture, right?
Yeah,
let me ask you that one. Like you're on your side of me. Like who's probably you probably think your favorite Chicago athlete that you'd ever ran into?
That I've ever ran into? Probably Big Cat Williams, to be honest, is an old right tackle for the Bears. Like, I don't know. Like,
no one ever gives the lineman love, dude. I mean, we got it special here in Philly because you got Lane Johnson, you got Kelsey, you got Malata, you've always had these characters at offensive line. We'd had John Runyons over there. Oh, watch this replay.
Turnover.
When you see this, it's gonna come out of nowhere. Oh my God, what a turnover! Woo!
Man, we are so delayed. Like and I tried. I'm live.
Yeah, I know, man. It sucks. The sad part is we're watching the same game.
And the ball's just now snapped. Of course, it's Velus Jones. Oh my gosh, this guy.
That was just a beautiful hit, man. I'm sorry.
I know, but okay, so he's had fumbling problems already this year. He's our 3rd round pick.
Actually, no, it wasn't even the hit. It was Hassan Reddick. He caused the fumble and recovered it. Holy crap! This boy is mad balling today. Are you kidding me? Wait till you see the replay on it.
Oh yeah, yep.
That was just filthy.
Oh, I like this angle better. Punch. How do you allow that? You can't let that happen.
That was. Listen, Hassan Reddick is just on another level this year.
Honestly, he didn't even hit the ball. Like, Velus Jones just like, I don't know. He's like in his own head. He can't even pay it. He's like trying to do too much.
You know how that goes with players when they start doing that. It just snowballs, man. They're just trying to do too much, and it's just
way too easy.
So much worse for themselves.
Way too easy.
Oh, you just see that AJ Brown move, right?
Yeah. So I'll admit. So I put money, a very small bet on this game prior to the game.
All right. So let me hear where were your bets at? Let me hear.
So I did a 3-leg parlay. I actually picked Chicago money line because it increased obviously the chances, and I put over 70.5 yards for AJ Brown. And who was my other one? I don't remember. It was over for somebody else too.
Jalen's already got 181, and we're about 4 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, they've been using Jalen Johnson to shadow him, which Chicago doesn't usually shadow guys. So that just tells you how good A.J. Brown is. But it's funny because he was saying that everyone should be focused on Devonta Smith, right? Like just this last week. And I was like, yeah, that's
Well, I
just
mean, that dude, you look at this. I already said it when the way they have it, they really when they get Dallas Goedert back next week, just
oh my god,
really that's what really makes this offense really click and be special because Dallas probably is one of the more underrated. He just runs every route. He's probably the best route running tight end. I would say in my opinion.
I love Goddard.
You could probably say Kittle's probably the most explosive. Kelsey probably has the best hands.
Kelsey's just this Kelsey kind of reminds me a little bit of like watching Derrick Henry run the football. He's like the slowest fast guy you ever see, right? That's kind of like Kelsey is. He's just like a tactician. I already said
I feel like he has the best hands as a tight end, but route runner, man. I gotta give that to my boy Dallas Goedert, man.
It's crazy though that you guys had Goddard and Ertz. Like,
yeah, we had them both for 2 years until the trade. Well, a year and a half because Ertz didn't make it through that next season. Zach Ertz will always have a special place with the Philly fans. Always.
I liked him too. I mean, I'm a big fantasy guy, so like all these guys I've had on my fantasy teams. My brother-in-law is a huge Eagles fan. He's at this Bears game right now, but he's actually working it.
Was he like concession stuff or like?
He runs one of like the booths, like or where like the like the private club areas. So he's a bartender server there. I told him you got to be careful because you can't show your true fandom while you're working today.
I never got that. Like people like, you can't be a fan of this or a fan of that. I'm like, what?
I mean, you just got to be careful because
you don't want to lose
out on a tip, right?
Like sign up to do these jobs. There's a missed opportunity right there.
What do you think about your coach like talking to fans and stuff at other stadiums? You like that?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Like it's just like he's just an extension of one of the other players, man. If you think about it, like it's just a natural progression of how these players want these coaches. They don't want them to be these stone cold rigid guys that
you got to make
can't relate to. And that's why I think that they've been able to adapt guys in really easily, really fast is because of Sirianni. He started off so bad. I mean, I think it was like his like second or third press conference in. I think what was the Flowers one?
Oh, yeah.
And just everyone was mocking it and ripping him up at the time, and just like now you look at it, it's like, well. It actually makes fucking sense, right?
Right. No,
you're actually seeing what he was talking about kind of play out on the field, and then like not just the him interacting with fans, both Eagles and opponents fans in general, but each one of it, he has special handshakes for each one of the players, and like he's so in tune to his guys, and you look at it, it's like you look at not just that, like go look at the Phillies, right? Look what happened in the Phillies. Everyone's talking about the energy that's in like our stadiums, our clubhouses, things of that nature. I think that like we used to talk about Philly being just outside of, I guess, what they would call the major cities, the big cities. That's changed a lot over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Regardless of the Super Bowl win or not, that's really has changed a lot. Not just with football, with baseball and things like that. You want to see more out of basketball, but for whatever reason, just the Sixers have not been able to do anything since 1983.
Right.
But I think he brings a definitely a unique level to it. Definitely wasn't any on anyone's radar.
Nice punt,
dude. You have to say something. Jeffrey Lurie has gotten really lucky because each one of his hires that he has made since he has been on as his team owner has won 10 or more games in each of one of their first 2 seasons.
Nice.
Not many owners can do that.
No, not at all.
If you hire a guy, get 10 win out of it, if not the first, the second season.
Right. Oh man. So that last series with Chicago reminded me who the other over I had was Cole Kmet. I had him over 35.5 yards. So I think he's on pace. But that one should have been a catch. I mean, they just did not connect on that throw.
That's what I was saying.
That was the one you said missed opportunity.
Where I said that's a missed opportunity. You were probably like, that's probably what he meant. There was no one there, and he just missed the throw. But that's stuff that Jalen did, a year ago, 2 years ago, where he wasn't getting those windows.
Yeah, him and Tua, most improved.
Crazy, right? How those two are connected in weird ways.
Right. I mean, it obviously helps.
Both of them having breakout years this year.
Yeah,
I'm still worried about Tua because of those concussions he got this year. Man.
Oh, he's taking a beating. Not even just the concussions. I mean, on other plays too.
I mean, Jalen takes a beating, but he knows when to slide, when the
ball, pick it up. All right.
I'm not liking how much they're freaking throwing the ball today. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know Sanders.
He just get the first down here, but I don't Did you forget you have Miles Sanders today? I think that's the biggest reason why I think this is the way it is. Jalen's having an off game. He's allowed to have an off game every once in a while. You're playing on the road, cold place like Chicago. Yeah. Run the ball. You have one of the best offensive lines in football. I don't. It's probably one of my biggest pet peeves I have about this team. You're just too pass happy first. You have one of the best running attacks in football and the best offensive lines.
And then
I'd be running on first and second.
Come on. Yeah, and Chicago's run defense is not good, so that's what you should be doing.
I think they're giving Jalen too many designed, outs. Oh, there it is. There it is. He just got cracked. That's the how he acts. Watch. You'll see it in a minute.
I was going to say, I'm still watching the replay from the
design one.
So I think Chicago kind of pulled some of that stuff, though, from Philly and Baltimore, right? Like the design runs. Ooh.
That was more on his shoulder. Great.
Yeah, but that was a big man coming down on him.
Wow,
that was all his weight, too.
Ran over by a refrigerator.
That was just all his weight.
Yeah, I don't like that either. He still don't look right.
See, that's the thing. You don't want to see somebody get hurt. I mean, that's the way he went down. It almost kind of reminds me of when Justin Fields separated his shoulder. But the problem is that hurts throwing arm, right? He's right-handed.
Oh.
The very next throw.
That's the end of 3. We'll see.
Yeah. He's
like I said, I didn't like his how that first pass looked afterwards.
I mean, it was on target, but it just didn't have as much zip on it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of fluttered a little. And he's wincing, which makes me very concerned. Like I said, Chicago has nothing to play for. I want him to keep losing. I want that draft pick to be a top 3 pick.
I don't blame you at this point in time. And then you sold the farm, getting Quinn and Roquan Smith out of there.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about what they got back in return, and what do you want to see them do with it, man?
I honestly think you guys overpaid for Quinn, but that's I was like, I think you guys were like, Ian Kennedy, man, you guys, we're going to give you a little bit of
another
gift.
rotational guy. We were just being gluttonous.
Yeah. I said,
I mean, you really
Kennedy,
think about it,
Ian
because
Cunningham.
he's still a guy that they can rotate in there.
Yeah.
Where, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat.
Is he on the IR for you guys now?
Huh?
Is Robert Quinn on the IR for you guys now? I know he went
Nah,
out first.
I think he's still nicked up.
Okay.
I don't think he's on IR, but
but just not.
He's just not getting more than a handful of snaps right now.
Well, I mean, when Hassan Reddick is playing that way and Sweat's playing that way, like where are you going to play him?
Well, then not just that, just everyone. Like you got was it Milton Williams still getting a lot of good snaps there at defensive end too, and then just the way they rotate things. So like the defensive tackles, we're just so rich on the inside too. It's ridiculous. And not just that, the guys that are playing the inside can play on the outside. Like, you could still play Sue as a defensive end.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of surprised they even made the trade. I mean, I know like at the time it made a little more sense than it does now, but I was happy with the 4th round pick for him. I mean, clearly his trade value was higher coming off that 18.5 sack season last year. Probably should have traded him before the draft, but I understood the reason why you kept him.
If you knew you weren't going to sign the contract, draft day is kind of the best time to, right after a season like that, man. You see what AJ. We got AJ Brown we had to give up a first and a third. I'm like, I was mad we had to give up the third. I'm like, all right, I understand the first. Why you got to give him a third too?
Right. Now
and then you go and give him.
You could have had a second after you see it how he's playing now.
But then you go and give AJ Brown $100 million to top that off.
Right. But it's not like he just decided not to play. He's been fantastic. Sometimes
like everyone's talking about like the impact he's had on this team this year has been like T.O. like from that 04 season when they made the Super Bowl run his first year.
Yeah. There you go. That's a great.
There you go, 96 yards. So you got that one right.
Yep.
You're like, all right, AJ, did your thing. He's like, don't kill my team too much more.
Right. God.
They're going deep. Let's see who's getting it. AJ Brown. No. AJ
loves
terrible,
those slants,
terrible
man.
Job of tracking that ball.
I wish Chicago would run slants more. I don't understand why they don't. Oh, he's got it. 6 catches for 96 yards. They just threw.
Yeah, that's what I said. You'll see, and then they go right to him. You'll see it's just. I think AJ did a bad job of tracking the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, he thought it was going to the inside shoulder, and it went to the outside. I do have to admit, though, Jalen Johnson's
there goes Miles.
Pretty good coverage.
No, it was good coverage. But regardless, he's been making those catch a lot this year. I just felt, like I said, bad job of tracking that particular ball. We don't know if it got lost up in the sun, wind blew it down, got hung up a little bit longer, whatever. And they come back with a nice run by Miles. It's a nice blocking by Devontae Smith.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice cut. Yeah, see, I am surprised they're not doing more of that.
That's what I'm saying. Miles has been on fire this year.
Yeah. I
were calling him out all last year, like, oh, he's probably gonna be the one guy we know ain't getting a contract after this year. And then he's coming out this year. He's like averaging, I think it was like 8.5 yards a carry.
It's funny how these guys always seem to find it on their contract years.
Oh, Jacksonville's up 31-27 with 10 minutes to go. Upset alert. Upset alert.
Are you kidding me? Nice. That's actually good for Chicago.
I
need all these teams to keep winning. I need all these teams to keep winning.
See, you want Jacksonville to win so they get further away from you so you get a better pick.
That's right.
I just want I don't care. Just the Saints need to be down there with you.
Although I need the Saints to win too, so it really Wow, 31-20. What has Dallas been doing on defense?
They haven't scored since like midway, since like I think the beginning of the third quarter. Most teams are at least into the fourth now. I think we're a little bit behind because we had a bunch of injury timeouts stopping.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So that puts us kind of a little bit behind the ball. So we'll see. Big third down here. Let's see if Chicago can get off the field. 3rd and 4. And it looks like they will get off the field. Inside run to Gainwell, just didn't really get anything.
Again, I'm surprised. Like, this defensive line has just been so porous. Not only from a running game, but can't even get to the quarterback either. Like,
I don't know why you take Miles off the field there.
Yeah, again, I'm kind of questioning. I don't understand what they're doing.
No, we're going for it. Again. Let's see what happens here. Jalen Hurts gets the first down.
I'm assuming what I'm about to see should have been the play on the 3rd down play.
Yeah, they went for it on 4. Yeah. So.
Sometimes too, like I feel like coaches, like they're like, man, I knew I should have ran that play instead, but we're close enough. Let's do it again, right? And then
I think the big old hairy nuts that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts got on themselves right now.
Oh, I saw it though.
Going for it on 4th down is insanity.
The Bears linebacker tripped. He had a chance if he didn't trip to stop him. Oh, he tripped so bad.
Let me just get it. I knew he just had enough. It didn't matter. But keep that drive alive.
That's
well, I guess they're gonna show the replay now of it.
Right. He trips.
There's 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They're up 31-27.
I didn't see who the receiver was, but yeah, Zach Thomas just trips right over the receiver's foot as they're crossing.
Run the ball. Let's see.
Yeah, and also run the clock out at the same time. I mean, you have the lead. This is the time to do it.
I mean, it's already a 12-play drive that's already taken up 6 minutes.
Whew. The one-handed catch in the Jacksonville game. Was that Zay Jones? Yeah.
I think he had one earlier for them too, so that might be his second one today.
I thought that guy's career was over like 4 years ago when he like ran through that glass like at that hotel. He was just like, I don't know, tweaking off his mind. Like, I thought his career was over. He's kind of brought it back though with Jacksonville. Inside penetration, that doesn't happen for Chicago.
Yeah, that was a nice stoppage right there. We'll see what happens on this 3rd down or the 2nd down here. Slant to AJ Brown for 6 yards.
I don't understand why Chicago doesn't run slants. Like, I know they don't really have the big body guy now. Like, well, they got Chase Claypool, but he's not playing today. But
yeah, but that's still like something. I still think that's a big thing not having him for you guys. But yeah, I think the way the league is now, you need the possession guy, the speed guy, and the big body guy.
Yep.
That's how you have to have your wide receiver core situated.
Yeah, and I understand why they made the trade too, because it's not a really, really good wide receiver depth class, and you're guaranteeing. And if Chase Claypool was in,
I know, like
interesting. Oh wow, that's an interesting formation. It almost looked like they were taking a knee. Like clearly they weren't, but like that was cool.
I don't know. If you ask me, the top 2 duos right now is what you see right here in Philadelphia with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, and what you're seeing down there in Miami.
Oh yeah, Jalen Waddle was my wide receiver 1 that year.
But don't sleep on San Francisco, man.
I like Brandon Ayuk
and Debo.
Brandon Ayuk just couldn't stay healthy. He's finally having a breakout year because he's been healthy.
Like I said, San Francisco's one of them teams I got my eye on, man.
Now, if you want to call a quarterback a system quarterback, that's a system quarterback. You lose Jimmy Garoppolo, you bring in Mr. Irrelevant. Brock Purdy's throwing 2 touchdowns every game. Like,
did you see that tweet? I think Cowherd put out.
I didn't see it.
About Purdy's going to be holding Super Bowl in a few months. I'm like, oh my god, y'all need to stop. I didn't see it.
That's crazy.
It's 2 games. Stop it.
But he's doing what you need a quarterback to do in that system. Just dump it off. I mean, as soon as they got CJ McCaffrey, like, you knew that they were going to be a contender.
Now listen, if I'm San Francisco, there's no way you do any game and you don't run the ball more than 25 times.
No. Yeah, you lean on that defense and you run the clock out and you don't turn the ball over. That's the key. That's all you have to do for that team.
Looks like the Eagles are going to have to force themselves to kick a field goal here. So the Bears just keeping it close enough.
This is the best game I've seen from Mike Pennell all season. Number 64. Every time I see it, like, why do they have an offensive lineman out there? It's a horrible number.
I don't think like the Eagles are like this unstoppable juggernaut. Like listen, like, you know, the guys can be shut down. The guys can step up, especially when you know you're playing, you know, one of the better teams of football, which the Eagles are right now. And oh my God, no, no good.
Does he double doink?
Good. The wind took it. No good.
Is it a double doink though? Because that would be fantastic.
No double doink.
I wonder if the ball, you know what? I wonder if the wind took that deep ball right before it too. I mean, Hurts has got, I keep forgetting though, he's also playing a little bit hurt too, you know?
Yeah, that's the first time I
seen. Whoa, I just saw, and it did doink. You didn't even let it out. It did doink. Wow. That wind, that was
seen it. It took it from
it's like a knuckleball
hash all the way over.
It was like a knuckleball. Whoop.
It happens. So we'll see.
Okay.
Now.
So these are the situations that Chicago has been in all season. Okay, all season. They've only had 2.
You got to take advantage of it. It's 17-13 right now. You put one in the end zone here.
But
oh boy,
this is where they keep choking. And I don't like. There's like the conspiracy theorists out there that say like they're doing it on purpose because they want the draft pick. They're just tanking. I don't think any football teams truly tank. It's way too difficult to do that in the NFL. Like it's like impossible. I mean, it's one thing to tank, but like to be able to just like not score or like not throw pass, like you're playing for your job. You might not be playing this year with that same team. So now you're showing what you can do for the other 31 teams in the NFL. Like you can't afford to do that. And if you play soft, you easily get hurt. So I want to see Justin Fields drive down the field and make it even more interesting. That's what I think.
The defense has been, you know, pretty stout the last few weeks. They've been making sure keeping people under 20 points. So, but we'll see. This is one of those times there. Justin Fields wants to show that, you know, he's an NFL quarterback. We'll see. You know, this is one of these conversations that the Eagles fans had all last season. We were oh man, we were brutal with Jalen last year. Absolutely.
I know a lot of people that didn't even want him to stick around.
Yeah, I was like, yo, let's trade for Derek Carr or something for right now. Or we had an extra draft pick. Let's have Derek Carr run things until and if he can't make this system work, then let's go draft a quarterback.
Right.
You know, send Jalen to Las Vegas or something.
Yeah, because
that was shit out of my mouth, wasn't it?
yeah, right. But hey, you took ownership.
It's like, yo, like listen, like that's what I think is so funny. Like none of these people, like when they make these things, they never own it. They never owned it.
You owned it.
Oh no, I was always his biggest. No, my son was. My son was Team Jalen from day one. I can't even hold it. He went seamlessly from Carson Wentz right to Jalen Hurts without even missing a beat.
So I was a big Jalen Hurts fan. I was hoping Chicago would go after him, but I'm a Mitch Trubisky stan, and I still am. I love seeing him play for other teams. Like, it pisses me off that Kenny Pickett got that job down there. Like, he'll never be great, and I'm glad that it worked out the way it did, because Justin Fields, to me, can be a top 5 player in the NFL. Mitch Trubisky was never going to be that, but I thought he was good enough to win.
For guys that you want to see play well, like we were just talking about with Foles here. Like, he's probably the greatest backup quarterback that ever lived.
Yeah, BDN.
Man,
I still remember he came in and against Atlanta for Chicago for the first time. They benched Trubisky. They were 3-1, like, and down by like 17. And Nick Foles comes in and leads a fourth quarter comeback. It was amazing.
Oh,
but then the Matt Nagy offense just was garbage, so no one could do anything in it.
And Fields is hurt.
Ah, fuck.
And you got called for holding on the play, and his big run's coming back. Unbelievable. Where do you see the scramble though? He gets away. He gets away from Reddick twice.
Wow. Oh,
it's his hip. I don't know what's wrong.
Yep. Fuck. I told you it's kind of similar.
You got to get rid of him in some of those situations so you don't take that damage. Once you got away from Hassan Reddick, not once but twice, it's like, all right, dude.
He's done. Fuck. That's the end of the season for him, probably. You got to shut him down. You got to shut him down.
Yeah.
I know he needs his reps.
Especially how bad your line is right now, dude. Just get him at it. Like, I wouldn't even bother with it.
I know he needs his reps, but you can't.
Not a hip injury, too. That's one you don't want for a guy like him. That's like worst case scenario for a running quarterback is shoulder, hip injury, something like that.
Let's see.
Man.
That's weird.
That just took all the wind.
He didn't even really land on his hip. Like, he landed on his own hip, so it must have been the ground. I thought it was when your player landed on him, but
I don't. I think it's when he planted and swiped at him hard.
Yeah.
So I think it jerked his hip. Because he was also, when he did it, he was doing one of those twist downs.
Right. Yep.
And I think it just jerked him around a little bit. Couldn't come at a worse time. We were just saying he needed that drive, right? If there's no holding on there, that's, you guys are at midfield and in business.
Right, exactly. Even if you just get 3, I mean.
Now we get the ball back, 30-yard line or so with 7 minutes left.
And we got
Nathan. First downs, the game's just about over.
And now we got Nathan. I like to throw multiple interceptions. Peterman.
Luckily. He didn't throw any there, and we got the ball. And you punted. So we'll see what happens here. But now, as we're getting down to the end right here, like, what do you see happening for this postseason in the NFL? Who do you think is going to be the surprise team that gets in, and how do you think everything's going to play out? What are your kind of, like, I guess mid-December predictions?
I don't know if there really is a surprise team. You got so you got Buffalo, Kansas City, like those are your 2 top teams. Miami slightly below them in the AFC, right? Like no one's shocking you there. Maybe the Tennessee Titans. I mean, if Derrick Henry has one of his games, they can upset somebody in the playoffs, right?
I think they, if anything, Tennessee needs to do anything they can to find themselves a quarterback.
Yeah.
because you can't keep the stop step in there in Ryan Tannehill. I think that is their biggest problem over the last handful of seasons. Why they haven't been in a Super Bowl,
right?
With a guy like Derrick Henry, with how good their defense can be at times, is because they have Ryan Tannehill as a quarterback. Nothing. I don't have anything against him. He's just not one of those top 15 guys.
Yeah, no, he's like one of those middle.
He's a bridge gapper.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that they don't have the AJ Brown type anymore, right? Like, but in the NFC,
I think it's funny people sitting there saying that Gardner Minshew could be doing the same things that are Jalen Hurts are right now. I'm like, y'all need to stop.
No.
But I do feel like he will be a trade target and will be a starting quarterback somewhere next year.
The problem is, like, a lot of those guys, like you see him, you see like Heineke and Washington. Like, sometimes these backup guys get in there and they just like fantastic. There's no pressure on them.
For Washington to run with that and Carson go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him twice a year because I know we know him so well. It's not fair.
Sure.
It's not fair.
Makes sense.
I still got mad respect for the guy, mad love for the guy. I'll never have bad things to say about him. Granted, even though he facilitated a lot of things that got him out of here and things.
He did facilitate that trade.
He was still a major part of the reason why they won that Super Bowl, and then people need to remember that.
Yeah, he went out in week 11.
See a guy like him get a chance there in Washington and Carson go elsewhere, man. I think the Colt thing. I think they're so knee jerky right now with everything.
Yeah, the only way that Chicago has a chance now is a takeaway.
No, it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, but you still got Nathan Peterman. You need the defense to score or your special teams to score because I don't trust Nathan Peterman to do it.
I'm
trying to think of the NFC teams, though, and how they're laid out right now. Like, who could be a sneaky team?
Well, was it the Vikings are the 2 seed?
Yeah, because they came back and won that game.
Well, no, they've only lost 2 games, one of them to us, and a big one to Brown. Oh, down to the 2.
I was watching the Cowboys take over for the Jaguars.
I was about to say something about that. I was gonna say it after the play, but then you'll see this bomb that he just threw to AJ Brown. Holy crap!
Bottom of the screen. Okay, I see him. No pressure, even with the safety blitz. Beautiful catch. Horrible tackle. You got to push him out of bounds. Come on.
He couldn't. He was trying to drag his feet down. Look, as he's sliding down, he's trying to get him, but he missed. He missed getting both of his feet, and AJ just slipped right out of him. That's a big. I think the other thing is AJ after the catch, AJ's able to he's averaging over 10 yards.
Yeah. Hey,
even though like when it's not the slant plays, he's still finding a way to keep.
Just too easy. Whew. I mean, not too easy. That was a great play, great throw.
No, that's
great
but
throw.
This is what we were talking about. I think that's the biggest difference between last year. AJ, not just AJ Brown, but Jalen's able to just hit those throws this year where he was either overthrowing them or underthrown. It was just there was something off about all of it. He's able to clean all that up this year, and he's been just on point with that. He's been able to hit those tight windows throws and things of that nature. Up until today, he's been really good protecting the football as well.
Right.
Which is normally one of the things that the younger quarterbacks have a problem with, right?
And now our corners hurt too. That also could be the fact that he's in the same system again, right? So like the timing is there.
Yeah,
now.
Another thing we were talking like Jay, this is only like the first time, since he's been in high school that he's had the same, coach and offensive coordinator, same system for more than 2 years. That's rough, man.
Right.
It's a rough thing to have a quarterback have to deal with.
Yep. All right. So Chicago will have 3 games left. I don't know what the diagnosis is going to be with Fields, but to me, at this point, I'm shutting him down. You take your 3 losses, you get a top 3 pick. That's where I'm at.
What? Now, here's the thing. If I'm you, I trade your pick.
Oh, I'd love to trade down. Especially,
I would trade. The only way I'm trading down if I'm getting a pick next year.
Yes.
I want to trade down with you, and I want your pick next year.
Yeah, and something else from this year too.
You have to find somebody that is hungry for a quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I have a feeling it's going to be Tampa Bay.
Oh, I didn't even. That's an outside horse. I like that call.
I'm telling you now because I think Tom's done in Tampa Bay, but I don't think he's done in general.
Right.
I think he's going to go to San Francisco as a bridge gap to help Trey Lance.
Hot takes. I love it. I mean, they're not going to take him in Miami anymore. That's who wanted him the most.
Yeah. And they're going to pay. I think that's nonsense, man. The whole tampering thing, that's nonsense, man. I don't dig that on any level. Regardless, we're talking Tom Brady, whatever. Like, listen, there's no tampering. Like unless you're still completely under contract with somebody, like if you're on the process saying like, hey, I'm looking to go, like if X player and X Sports openly says, hey, I'm looking at options to do X, Y, and Z next year.
Yeah.
If I'm kicking the tires, like, hey, if X, Y, and Z does happen, what is your interest? I don't feel that should be tampering.
Sure. No, I understand what you're saying. I mean, it just kind of depends on if it's inside the window and who's talking to who. Like, there was definitely some tampering going on with the Roquan Smith situation, but it was Roquan Smith doing the tampering because he was not using an agent and he was communicating with teams that he wasn't supposed to.
And y'all get us for a false start. We get you for a false start. The traded penalties here. That was weird. I thought that was right. They had Jurgensen pop out as a wide receiver.
They did that same formation again on that sneak. I like that. You got 2 guys, like just everybody's right there to just push. I just saw it. Oh, he got him so bad.
It wasn't even close. Like, he hasn't.
When I played though, they said if you're gonna
pee,
if you're gonna false start, you got to hit somebody. So I mean, I guess he at least came across. He didn't make it just like a little hop.
So now, wait, Jurgens is the. Yo, what are y'all doing? I love this nonsense. He goes off the side. I love it. Wow. Yo, in short yardage situations, no one's gonna beat the Eagles here this year. No one.
No, you guys have great guys up front.
If it's 3rd and 1 short, like anything like that, not just because of the offensive line. Like, look at this. The shift over. You got 2 bulls in there with Cam Jurgensen and and Kelsey. And he don't even use it. He just goes right off of freaking Mulata's butt.
There was no one in the gap. It was wide open. He didn't have to follow him. But even if he did follow him, I think he had it.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I'm sitting there saying. Like, they're not just because Jalen makes it really hard just because, for people who don't know Jalen, like, he's a gym rat to the point where, like, the dude could deadlift 600 pounds. When your quarterback can deadlift 600 pounds, and you're doing quarterback sneaks, it's not fair. It's not fair that, especially when you get behind your offensive line, which is probably the best offensive line in football. the way I'm feeling about this team, we can always go back to that Dallas line that Emmitt Smith had, the Hogs that they had down there in Washington for a period of time.
Yep.
Like they're getting that to that level, and you're only going to lose Kelsey at any point in time.
I was just going to say, is
right?
Kelsey going to finally be done?
I don't know, man. I think if they win a Super Bowl, there's a way to talk him into one more year. But you're looking at his heir apparent right there, Cam Jurgens.
It's not like his play is
Nebraska,
huh? It's not like his play has fallen off.
No, that's the crazy part, right?
Yeah, no. Jurgens was a guy I liked out of the draft too. Chicago needs a center, so you're basically grooming your center with Kelsey. That's fantastic. Oh,
and you still got Andre Dillard there, guy you drafted, with a high pick.
Right.
So not only that, we're deep in the offensive line position.
Yeah, because he's a backup for you guys still, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a trade.
All right, so I got to ask you: Are you checking out the offensive line, the Eagles Christmas album?
Oh, yeah, I've listened to some of it. It's cool. Yeah, it's awesome. I love when people do stuff like that, like players. Like, have fun with your season.
Like y'all forgot about I mean, obviously the Bears invented this whole.
Well, yes, but they went a little too extreme, right? I don't. They didn't create like a Super Bowl song, right?
No, we didn't create it. No.
Yeah.
No.
Chicago did that.
When we had our run, it was like we adopted the Meek Mill song.
Yeah.
Dreams and Nightmares.
Like,
right. So I guess this time, that they're feeling this run this year and things of that nature. So I guess Lane, Kelsey, and Malott and the boys decided to get together and put out a Christmas album, and it actually is pretty good.
They got some pretty decent voices.
Jordan Malott probably has the best voice for a big man you probably ever heard ever.
They got some decent voices, and they can harmonize pretty well.
And he's back out there, so let's see how he does here.
Yeah, I'm here setting like his season's over, and here he is. What did they do? Like shoot him up?
No, like I said, I told you it felt like he just jerked it around.
They probably just cleared him, checked it out. I don't know. Let's not do any design runs on the first down, though.
Well, no, they did as a design. They did an RPO and they ran with Montgomery. Nice little out for a first down, right around midfield now. I mean, his numbers aren't bad. He's 10 for 16, but he doesn't have the yardage because you guys don't have weapons on the outside.
Well, yeah, they're down so many receivers too. You're down Darnell Mooney. You're down Chase Claypool. Now you're down Equinemius St. Brown because he went into concussion protocol.
Yep. And it just seemed like that anyone who's been hitting that field a little bit too. Oh, flea flicker. Let's see what happens here. Going deep. Let's see what happens here. Nah. It wasn't even close. That he needs to work on that. I don't know if that was a win ball or what. That wasn't even close.
Was it the Pettis 18? I'm guessing. I'm just guessing.
12.
12? Oh, Velus Jones. That's their fast guy.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. He was blanketed by Bradbury. Bradbury was hitting him with the arm bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the arm bar, and he can't go nowhere. Crazy. You talk about armbar, it's like in football and MMA. You're talking about somebody about to submit.
Yeah, that was probably you know what? To be honest, that receiver probably ran the wrong route. He just kept going on the go, and he didn't go to the post. I guarantee that's what it is. They'll talk about it in the post-game conference, I'm sure, because too many times that guy's ran the wrong routes. That's why I'm saying that. Like, Velus Jones has just been a hot mess for them.
I guess, yeah, that was a catch and fumbled out of bounds. 3rd and 4. First down.
Simba Webster is in there. That's when you know that they have no wide receivers right now.
Man, he's the one that fumbled it out of bounds, and anyone who's just got the first down. So
yeah,
let's see what happens here.
All right. I like that.
The touchdown. By Pringle.
Okay. You'll get my reaction here in just a second. They're lining up.
He got Slay biting up, thinking he was gonna run, and then busted the coverage, and Pringle's all alone.
Broken play with his feet, and whoop! Oh man, yeah, whew! That's like backyard, just playing catch. If he missed that, that would have been bad. Oh yeah, he just lost him.
There's 20.
Is it Darius Slay?
Yeah, it looked like Slay was biting up to try to help with.
Yeah, when he took off. Yep, that's exactly what happened. I think he thought maybe he was going to dump it off to the running back. Or take it himself.
There's 2.5 to go. Would you onside kick it here? You try to get a stoppage?
So they only have one timeout. They might have to onside. If they had all 3 timeouts, you just kick it. So you got one timeout and the 2-minute warning, though. You might have you probably just kick it. He's a conservative coach, I feel like, a lot of times, so they'll probably just kick it. We'll see.
You need a touchdown. That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, I think so. He's a defensive-minded head coach, but he's also conservative. Like, they'll get down into the red zone and they'll play for field goals.
Yeah, we'll see.
You'll have to tell me because you're going to see it way before I will.
And he did, but we've recovered.
So he did do an onside? I'm honestly shocked. That's what I would have done. I just didn't think that Matt Eberflus would.
It looked like Devontae was a little banged up there, though.
I guess you kind of knew if they didn't even put on a T. Too easy.
I mean, it was ran for 100 yards, so 2 first downs pretty much puts an end to this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because they'll take the timeout, then try to use the 2-minute, and then it's whatever's left.
I would wait till after the 2-minute and see what happens. I know they did take it immediately. Oh, they took their final timeout.
Yeah.
So you're going to bank that you can get the stop here. Miles got 4 on that first one, right? So 2:37. Yeah, this next play will take you to 2-minute. Still threw for 300 yards, even though he didn't throw for a passing touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, 303.
And he still was 65 on the ground.
And he still had 2. He got the other rushing TD too, right? So now he's only 2 away.
Man, he's going to do it.
I mean,
whatever you're trying to do with Quez Watkins in the running game, it is not working.
Like, what? I don't understand when offensive coordinators get cute. Put your best guy behind there at this point in the game and just run it.
Yeah, dude, you're only.
I mean, I get it if you have like a Tony Pollard type running back in the back as their backup, right? Like a guy who honestly outpaces.
Yeah, so we were just talking about Mr. Ryan Poles. What you got to see some big things from him this offseason, right?
Yeah.
Pressure's all on him.
Yeah, that was a bad play call. I didn't like that at all for you guys.
No, it was terrible. I can't stand doing that here.
That honestly reminds me of something that Chicago would have done.
Yeah, but now it puts you in like a 3rd and 6. Now you can't run the ball here.
Right. Well, they might still run it. and just hope,
or
know
they
their
might
defense
just
can
pass
do
it. You never know.
All right, 2 minutes. Big third down. This is the game, basically. If it converts, it's the game. If not, then Chicago's got a chance. A small one, but a chance. I still can't believe Justin Fields came back, and he looked fine.
And alert. Dallas and the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to overtime.
Wow.
Overtime is 34-34.
Wow. That is crazy.
And that's also with them. I think the Jags turned it over.
Is there any other
Like
upsets going on?
with a minute and a half to go.
I have not picked up my phone at all during this. I'm so used to being glued to either my phone or my laptop. I'm so pissed. So I do a pick'em every week at my work, and I completely spaced on the Saturday games. Like, I knew they were happening, and I still forgot to put them in.
Oh,
so mad.
So we'll see what happened in the last 2 minutes here.
New Orleans won. You don't like that?
No,
I do,
no.
but you don't.
Goddamn, Marcus Mariota's haunting us again.
The Lions.
You guys are going to, at this point in time, go 3-11. So, I mean, you're projected top 3 at this point in time.
Yeah, and if the Rams win one more game and they play Denver at one point, then we'll get the second. I don't think there's any way Houston's relinquishing that first.
Yeah, I mean, last week they gave Dallas a run for their money.
I was praying, like, come on, or even just to get a tie. I don't care. Like, that still helps. Oh, Kansas City and Houston are knotted up in overtime also. Houston could get the win. I don't know where they're at. It's 24-24 in overtime.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Don't tell me what happens. Because it's probably already over for you.
No, I think they're trying to get him to jump.
Oh, that's why you were counting down. You were counting down okay.
Yeah, I was trying to see if he was going to get it off or not, or what they were going to do.
I mean, that's kind of smart, though. They had all 3 timeouts, right? Like, why not try to get them to jump, make it a lot easier?
3rd and 6? I don't know. That's why I was trying to tell you that's why that play call was stupid. Then you can't
agree.
Make yourself in a predictable down.
Completely agree. Yeah, so it's
another slant to AJ Brown. That puts him over 100 yards, right?
That's it.
And that's what's crazy. Like, one week you'll have Devontae go off, another week you'll have AJ go off.
Yeah.
Next week Dallas Goedert will be back. He'll probably go off again against the Cowboys. There's never like you take away one thing, we burn you with something else.
Right. Again, not a slant.
Victory formation. That's it. Should be at 25-20. Another close game. The betting guys lose again, right?
Right. Yes.
Listen, like, I know, like, you blow out New York and things of that nature, but this is something we were talking. Me and you already had that feel. Yep. I already know how we play Chicago. We're not gonna be sitting there, dropping 40 on the Bears. I just didn't feel it, no matter how bad they were.
Yeah,
it's cold. You have to go to Chicago. It's not. That's not something that you're going to do. And now they're going to give us bonus coverage of the overtime game between Dallas and Jacksonville. So I guess since they're going to give us some bonus coverage of that, we're going to give you some bonus reaction to give us, I guess, the overtime period here for Jacksonville and and the Cowboys coming in. But Eagles, 13 wins now, right?
That's awesome.
It's rough, man. It's rough going to try to quell the excitement and expectations of.
Well, so now I got a question for you then. So I know they've got their one loss already, but like, would you rather them get another loss before the playoffs?
I do, but I think it's coming. I don't think it's not next week. They ain't. I think they're gonna put the hooks into the Cowboys and let them know where they stand.
Yeah,
and I also think they're gonna play that last game. But I think the Giants are gonna get a gift week 18, and we will have 2 losses.
Right. Yeah.
So I see them being 15-2.
Okay. And I think that's the better route to winning a Super Bowl. Like, as weird as that seems, like I feel like teams. I mean, it's hard to win in the NFL, even if you're top.
It is hard to win in the NFL. Like, I just think pretty much like you're gonna after this game next week, you're gonna see the Eagles start to. I don't think the Saints game will be all backups, but I think that at some point, like, probably about they'll treat it like the last 2 weeks as preseason games.
Chiefs just won.
The starters will see a series, or 2 or something to that effect.
I was hoping, but Houston just lost Kansas City 26-yard run for a touchdown in overtime to win the game. Damn.
And here we go. We're officially covering the Cowboys' possession here. Looks like Jacksonville had it. So we'll see if Cowboys can keep pace here. Now, I don't think even if they're lost here, I don't think we can clinch anything. I don't think, right? Like the Eagles still have to win next week, right?
So you're 13-1?
Yeah, and they're.
Oh yeah, because Minnesota still won, right? So yeah, right, because they have 3 losses. So you could still end up with 3 losses. I don't even know the standings off the top of my head. I'm looking them up. I think the Vikings are the only ones that really have a chance to catch you.
Yeah, but we hold the tiebreaker. And as I said, I think after the Dallas game is when
next week will be. Next week will.
No, I'm saying we could clinch the division if Dallas chokes today, right here, right?
Yes, yeah, you should, because they'll go 10-4. Yeah,
but I don't think that's going to happen. They're already almost at midfield.
Tony Pollard again, man. That guy's going to get paid this offseason.
If I'm Dallas, I find somebody that wants a hammer and see if I can get a first rounder out of Zeke.
Yeah.
I feel he's been been the better back. That was a big stop there from keeping it third and short. Let's see what happens. Pollard's coming off.
Prescott had a decent game. I'm curious to see what Trevor Lawrence's stats were. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, Lawrence had a great game.
Well, I mean, obviously, if they're in it like this.
Yeah, he put up 318 yards.
Oh! They're going to lose! Oh, it's a return for a touchdown!
A pick six?
Oh! He picked him up!
No way. No way.
Scott Jenkins, oh my God.
Wow. I was just saying that Prescott had a decent game, and wow. See, I wish I could react live, but I'm so far behind you.
Where do you see this thing, dude? It's just gonna look like a normal incompletion, and it just didn't never made it to the ground.
Oh man! Oh wow! Prescott tried to get him. Nope. Gone.
Man.
Wow! What an upset!
I love it.
What an upset! So look at that. There you go.
Oh, that just made us division champions, if you ask me. And,
Wow.
and you're we gotta go down there for that? Yeah, come on, dude.
Wow. Hey, there. What's that division
clean.
look like? The Jaguars might be the surprise team. Right? I think they're only a win behind
they're
the
6-8, man. They can sneak in like what we did last year, like 9-8. They win these last few games. You never know, man.
I don't know what their schedule looks like, but let's see.
That's a big one right there for Doug Peterson and the Jacksonville Jaguars, man.
So they're 6-8. The Titans are currently 7-6. So
they're having fun down there in Jacksonville, right?
How crazy is it that just getting rid of Urban Meyer, right? Like, what a horrible situation. And you got to be proud too, Doug Peterson, right?
Right, Eli. Let's go Birds. It's like, listen, I don't know how anyone else is not like, overly excited about this, but you have to look around and say, who's gonna beat this Eagles team, man? It's rough.
I gotta say,
I think the only one that has the tools to do it is Kansas City, but I don't think they're gonna beat the Bills.
Yeah, I could see San Francisco's defense possibly.
Yeah, I do.
But they got to hit on like some really key big plays on offense. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to keep up.
But see, that's the thing. If they had, not to take anything away from Purdy, but like you don't have that X factor at quarterback.
Right.
Like you have a question mark. Granted, he can go and step up in the moment and take them on a run, but I still think that he's still going to lack some of these other things, and well,
and then he's going to be in the big moments, right? I mean, this isn't just regular season anymore. You're talking playoffs. Everything gets, crunched together. Teams get, stronger, tighter. Yeah. Like I said, you guys have the easier path here in the NFC.
Oh yeah, Dallas next week. Saints the week after, and Giants last week of the season.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, 13-1, you take care of your own business. You're arguably, outside of two really bad play calls at the end of that Commanders game, you should still be undefeated. But like I said, I'm fine with having that a loss, and I'll still take another one to keep them humble.
Yep.
But having home field advantage coming here to the link in January with the way this team plays, I find it really hard for anyone. Minnesota tried to do that in 2017 when everyone thought they were the better team.
Right.
We go and blow them out. What was it like 38-8 or something like that?
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean. All I remember is Nick Foles and Alshon Jeffrey hitting up for some big plays on that game, and Torrey Smith too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and the thing about that team is they had incredible balance, which is what this team has.
Yes.
Incredible balance both with the running attack and the passing attack. They're going to get healthier, and I think that's the other really big key thing about why the Eagles are going to be tough to beat is because they've been abnormally lucky with injuries this season. We haven't had the big one to one of the key guys that you can't really have someone step up or step in. So, me and you were both talking to both Hurts and Fields took some unnecessary dings today, and that's something that we all have to worry about considering we have mobile quarterbacks who like to run the ball. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Justin Fields needs to get with a baseball coach this offseason and work on his slides because they're awful. He slides way too high.
No, I think if anything, after what happened this offseason, he just needs to be this offseason. Jalen Hurts needs to be his new best friend.
Well, yeah, that too.
I mean, look, Jalen put in the work this offseason. He spent like a month with Tom Brady, did this, had secret workouts with these guys, that guys. He put the work in, man. It's
that's
really
one
up
thing.
to the, like, hate to say, man, like those intangibles really this year through a whole bunch of things working out right for the Eagles, for Jalen Hurts, for a bunch of guys.
Yeah, and Justin Fields' work ethic is like crazy. So I definitely, I don't know who he'll partner with, but I know he's going to get out there and do his thing.
Look, I think you guys got a future, man. You're gonna have a top pick. You've got a lot of picks coming back. You're gonna have some cap space in the next 2 years to be able to bring in a high price guy. Just listen, man. Just if anything, I would just make sure your GM is on point right now, and he pulls the right triggers and pushes the right buttons over the next 2 seasons. Like I said, I expect this to be the first of many duels between Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields.
I'm watching the Arizona game, and McCoy hit his receiver right in the head.
Oh man, Arizona. That's another one. They're rough.
Oh no, it didn't. It looked like it hit him in the head. It hit him in the hand. I thought it was a lot funnier looking when I saw it live.
So, Eagles are locked in. I guess is there your pick for the Super Bowl at this point in time?
Philly. I would say it's going to come down to Philly in the NFC and either Kansas City and Buffalo out of the AFC.
But
and honestly,
you just got a first-hand look at the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
So
any given Sunday,
you
though,
see what they could do on defense, and there's a lot of people that we didn't get to talk about. We were already talking about CJ Gardner-Johnson. Mike Epps is laying the wood on people this year, unlike I've seen since B-Doc.
Yeah.
The play we've been getting out of linebackers, we were already talking about that. You have TJ Edwards, who's keeping Nakobe Dean on the sidelines,
which is crazy,
right? Everyone was going crazy about Nakobe Dean. He's almost getting a free pass, letting that shoulder be able to have another year to heal. Right. So TJ Edwards is going to be getting a contract from somebody this offseason, ridiculous because of the year he's having this year.
Yeah,
you have Kazir White on the other side, and we already know what we already talked about. What Hassan Reddick has been able to do so far this season is out of this world.
As long as you guys stay healthy on offense and don't lose any more key pieces on defense.
If we don't lose any of our linemen, Jalen Hurts, or anything like that, I think you'll be all right. Even if God forbid AJ or Devontae go down or something like that, you should be all right in that area,
right?
Because you're also getting Dallas Goedert back.
I would definitely say
2 big weapons on the offense. You know what I mean?
I would definitely say Philly is the favorite. But again, I could see Buffalo or Kansas City.
Well, no, obviously, like I said, dude, anything happens in football. No
one thought that the Cincinnati Bengals were going to make a run to the Super Bowl that year, right? Like they snuck in.
17 was a complete out of this world. No one seen that coming. Right. But with the fact that we made the playoffs that leading up to there and all the pieces that were brought in, it does look like, hey, let's go make a run.
Oh, for sure. If you guys don't make it to the Super Bowl, that's a disappointment.
Oh, without a doubt. Somebody's head is going to be on somebody's platter. You're gonna have a lot of people have to have some answers, right?
Yes, for sure.
But as of right now, I mean, Jonathan Gannon's probably going after the season. He's going to be head coach somewhere after the season that they're having this year.
Right.
Don't mind that one bit. Don't really care for he plays too much soft zone with these wide receivers, with these corners, in my opinion.
Okay.
Which allows people to do some things.
Yeah.
And the fact that up until that you signed Sue and Lindell Joseph, that you were 22nd in the league in run defense is utterly disgusting.
But they fixed it. To a degree, right?
To a degree, I still sit. There's anyone who has a run strong team, I think, has a good chance to give us a run for our money. Anyone who does,
and that again could be San Francisco. That's the only one in my mind. I mean,
but you have to have that good running game with a defense that can shut down our wide receivers and shut out Jalen Hurts.
right.
You can't find a team that can do all three of those things all at the same time. You can get one of them.
Yeah, maybe
you may be able to put up some points on us, but then you can't do anything about the other side of the ball. Jalen's able to not only run and pass like that. That's a problem. You can't do that.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's why I think what we've been saying. I think that Jalen has kind of made a redefinition of what the dual threat quarterback is.
I just saw Ryan Tannehill just make a horrible. I mean, it's a completion, but like you're saying, you got to have a quarterback to go with your run game.
And we were talking. My crazy thought for Tom Brady. Tennessee's another place he could wind up too.
Oh yeah.
But they don't have a quarterback. I still think if anyone's going to take Tom, it's a stopgap to someone that also. So your young quarterback who's going to be your 2 is going to learn from Tom.
Right. Which San Francisco would be that guy, right? I mean, or would be that team.
Yeah, because you still need some work like with Trey Lance.
Yep.
It's not like where Justin's a little bit more polished as a thrower, where Lance is just that running quarterback. Right
exactly. Oh, JJ
it's a beautiful time to be a football fan, my friend. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
I guess what I'll do here is, last few thoughts on the game. Any thoughts on the season? Plug your socials on the stuff you're working with. We'll wrap this one up, man. It was a fun one. It was a close one. I'm glad it was close. It wasn't a blowout or anything like that.
Same. Yeah. So again, season it's a rebuilding year for our Chicago Bears. I think they're trying to follow a pattern similar to what Philadelphia and a little of what Miami's done. And I think they have a quarterback in the future. I think he's a franchise quarterback. I think he can be a top 10 quarterback every year, top 5 at times. He's got to work on a couple more things, but if he fine tunes those things, I think he's going to be great.
I still think it's a matter of you guys getting healthy up front. Look at the biggest difference I think between this year and last year. I think it's stability up front, healthy up front, things of that nature. You look at last year when they started to go on that run, it's when they started to get stability up front and figure out like, hey, we got some good line. We should probably run the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that's when things started to come together. Then this offseason, Jalen did what he had to do with working on the passing game. Didn't hurt that they didn't bring in A.J. Brown. Like I said, man, if you guys are able to add get another weapon on the outside while fixing that offensive line, maybe finding yourself a good tight end to kind of pair in there with it. I think y'all could have look at what we have and try to mirror what we're doing in that area.
Right.
Like I said, I think the Eagles and Bears should be having some quality battles over the next 5 years.
I'm looking forward to it. And if there's any Bears fans out there listening to this right now, you can find my content at Bear Goggles On. That's my written content. And then I have my own podcast, the Hallis Huddle. So
make sure you guys are checking it out. Anyone who's a fan of the Windy City Sports, make sure you're checking my man Rob out. That was I'm gonna wrap one on this one. Another big Eagles win. 1 inch closer to that number 1 seed. Some time off and making people have to come through Lincoln Financial Field, which is I think a unique advantage that this Eagles team have. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I'm definitely going to be doing a little bit more of these live reaction shows, having some more fun, bringing other content creators, like Rob on, figuring some things out, having some fun, interacting with everyone. But other than that, I'm going to put up. What's that, brother?
You have to do it for next week so you can have some I didn't care that my team was losing as much because I want that draft pick, but Eagles, Cowboys.
No, you want me to do a live react on Christmas to the Dallas game? Oh no, that might be rough. I'll see about it. I'll see if I get some people interested in it.
It's been fun, man. Thanks for having me.
Always, I try to keep these fun, man. It just it works out when it's you get a good game where it's not too far gone where it's things of that nature. Like, dude, even when we had Ben on when we did the Titan game.
Yeah.
As we were on, it was still a game, but as we were on the air, he was just started laying the wood on him, and AJ Brown just started really putting on him. And Ben was like, "Oh man!" And then what happened next? And then the GM didn't even make it out of the stadium. He was like, "Put back your shit."
Yep.
But I mean, it's a fun time to be an Eagles fan. I know a lot of Bear fans are kind of down right now. Listen, you got some good pieces around you. You're rebuilding on defense too. I think that's probably where we'll see them spend some of them pieces. Like I said, if I'm your front office guy, I try to find a way to get find a way to get some extra picks in there with that top 3, top 5 pick.
On the same mindset.
There's going to be somebody desperate.
Yep, it always happens.
But I'm going to put a bow on this one. This was a fun one. Everyone, make sure you guys are checking out all our content on Belly Up Sports. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. All your audio way of listening on top of the video way of listening. Make sure you're subscribed. We got a lot of fun stuff going. With the sponsor stuff, I'm going to be doing some giveaways over the next few weeks. Got some signed items we're going to give away to on some of the live reaction shows. I'm going to have former UFC fighter LeVar Johnson for the Saints game.
Nice. So
we'll have some fun with that. He's a big Eagles fan.
Nice.
So we'll have some fun on that episode. We'll do a little giveaway on that one. Have some fun. And other than that, this is a good one. Appreciate the time, Rob. Appreciate anyone and everyone for tuning in. Whether you left a comment like my friend Angel did, or were you just listening to us two knuckleheads react to the game? It was a fun one. We'll have Rob on again here in the future. Maybe we'll get him to come on and do some reactions to some Bear games, because we do have some guys that do Bear content for Belly Up. So it would be cool to kind of get you guys connected as well.
Nice.
But fun one here. Eagles win. Bears lose. Playoff time for us, lottery time for them. We'll see what happens moving forward. It's going to be a fun last few weeks of the season as we lead into the playoffs. Have a good one, everyone. Be safe. Have a good holiday, and I'll see you guys next week.